Hi,
Hi, Lisa.
how's it going?
It's good. Thank you so much for having me here.
I'm grateful that you can be here. And for our audience, I'll introduce myself. I'm Lisa Ackerman, co-founder and executive director of the Autism Community in Action, TACA for short.
And I'm Pavan Agarwal, CEO of SunWest Mortgage. And this is a pleasure to meet you and be here and have this moment of we should call this around the orchid.
Around the orchid instead of between two ferns. I like that idea. But yeah, we're so grateful. We're here to really talk a little bit about the autism hero gift SunWest has made to TACA. And again, thank you. It makes a big difference for folks like us helping the 1 in 44 children
Yes.
living with autism.
That is actually a startling number. And I've been tracking your organization for 8, 9 years now. And I've seen that number rise from like, it was what, 1 in 150, 1 in 60,
Yeah.
10 years ago to now 144. So, gosh, I don't know what's going on, but these families need your help.
Well, yeah, and if I can clear up two misconceptions always with whenever there's a new prevalence number from the CDC, folks always like to say it's more awareness and a better diagnostics, and truly it couldn't be further from the case. I feel bad for any expert that's been diagnosing autism for decades. It's very easy to spot a kid with autism, and it's very easy to assess and diagnose them correctly. So it's not better awareness or change in diagnostics or a widening of services. I mean, let's talk about, services like Puerto Rico and in the United States. I know families have trouble accessing, therapeutics and treatments.
Yeah, unfortunately, in Puerto Rico, there isn't a whole lot of qualified ABAs on the island. And there's work being done on that, but I think definitely an organization like TACA, if it was present in Puerto Rico, would help increase awareness and get the education out and encourage more people in the therapeutic industry and the medical industry to go down this route.
Absolutely. We need more heroes, that's for sure. And some of the stuff that we're going to be able to do because of SunWest Mortgage is really exciting. So the family events, virtual parent education, our adult services programming, and the conference, that's allowing us to put the C in our name back in the community. So
That's
we're
right.
really appreciative of that. The pandemic has hit us really hard, just like everybody's experiencing troubles. It's really hurt families on the spectrum and also TACA.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, I read a study, or I saw a study a little while ago, I think a year ago, that said the best results for children is obviously with a qualified, well-trained ABA therapist. But the second best result is if the parents are trained.
Yeah,
Okay. And so anything we can do to help parents get educated, trained, and learn how to deal with their children and coach their children so they can become fully functioning and excelling, more than functioning, excelling. So many people that were autistic as a child are leaders in the world today.
so our goal and what I love that you're supporting is that, the kids can lead a bright, future-filled life with independence and dreams and a job and marriage and families and kids. But without that support, the stats are staggering. 14% of adults with autism today are working full-time. And our goal is to change that so they can have a bright future. We have a lot of ideas and different things that we can do together, but really I think it's all about parent education support and giving them the hope and the tools they need.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And more parents know, the better they can train and coach their kids.
Right?
And that can make a real tangible difference to the lives of many children.
Yeah, and I don't know for the families we serve and how the diagnosis was delivered to us is very similar how it was delivered to Temple Grandin in the 1950s. Their parents were told, Temple's parents were told, there's no hope and not a whole lot you can do, and it's quite the opposite. I always say autism diagnosis isn't game over, it's game on.
Mhm.
It's time to get busy, and there's a lot that you can do to make a difference.
Agreed. Agree 100%.
Yeah, well, gosh, man, and with all this agreement. So you guys have been around 41 years. How do you mix philanthropy and corporate social responsibility and just doing business? What's your priorities at SunWest?
Well, I would say it a little differently, and I think it is very American, and I take it one step further. It's very human to be respecting each other, to be helping each other. I can't think of any American today that wouldn't help their neighbor if they asked. Right. So it's just the way of life, and it's what we all do. So I don't think there's anything special about whether helping TACA or an orphanage or something else. It's just, I think everyone does it.
Well, I love it. And I think we need more leaders like that, because not every corporation looks at there could be a good marriage between, doing your core business and also philanthropy. Does your employees appreciate when you do things in the community and help others?
Yeah, I think so, and I think we get a good amount of employee participation, and they're always ready to help in any events that we have. And in general, like I said, mutual respect is philanthropy, right? That means employees helping each other, employees helping their customers, you going home and helping your family and helping your friends, right? And doing it selflessly, right? Doing it for just the act of doing, right? That is the definition of philanthropy, and our employees do this every single day. I'm sure all the people that are watching do this every single day.
Well, we don't always experience that much kindness, so we're grateful. And I think by leading by example, I think employees really love being part of something besides a paycheck.
Yes.
Employees have repeated back to me they love, like we just had a few family events, or two this weekend. And employees were there from SunWest, and it was fun being able to watch them interact and, share some hope and friendship, in the holidays.
Yeah, and actually I've spent some time walking through your organization here, and I see how everyone here works so closely together and such a great spirit, within the TACA employees. So it's everywhere.
Yeah, we have a great team and almost 1,000 volunteers working in all states to really drive autism forward and provide the help families need, what they need. So that's always fun for us. But do you have other philanthropy relationships you've done in the past at SunWest?
Yeah, we've done other things. We generally don't like to talk too much about it. I mean, we support certain causes, and we keep those things local and for the benefit of those kids. All of our philanthropy is always children related.
Oh,
Right? So everything we can do to help kids.
oh, good. And I think my goal I've shared with you, I want to go out of business for the right reasons. It would be
Yes.
great if TACA was no longer needed, but unfortunately we're still adding over 700 new families every month. So what you're investing in is allowing us to address and continue to scale. So we appreciate that.
Excellent.
So why TACA?
That's a good question. It's actually one of my partners, Anthony Toro, and this like almost 10 years ago, he got interested in, before he didn't even have children. He read something about autism, and he got interested, and he nerded out on the subject. And he found the organization, and he started following it. And then he came to me and said, "We should. This is a great organization, and we should help."
Oh,
So the first gift we gave was 7-8 years ago,
yeah.
and then we've been tracking TACA, tracking autism ever since, and just there's so much to learn about this, and so many children are impacted, and I want to do everything I can to help.
Oh, well, we appreciate that, and so do our families. They love Autism Heroes that kick in and help and really want to make a difference because whether we like it or not, autism is still the least funded disability in the United States, now affecting the most kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely needed. So can't thank you enough. And, you know, I'm just thinking about how we're going to help SunWest mortgage customers as well. And that's just, you know, some of my goals and objectives is
Yep.
when we roll out our conference strategy in 2022 in January, we want to invite all SunWest mortgage customers to register for free.
That's a good idea. You know, we have, you know, tens of thousands of customers that we work with every month. And I'm sure, you know, given the stats, I'm sure there's plenty of families that are impacted. So that's a great point, and we need to get the word out to them that there's a resource here.
That's great. And, you know, we were talking briefly earlier about, you know, for families, you know, sometimes with special needs families or families living with autism, you know, mortgages can be daunting. You know, what are some of the things to be aware of for those families so they know they could actually own their own home?
Yeah, I think a lot of families don't realize that Social Security and disability income is actually usable to qualify. And you can actually, in many cases, gross it up. I don't remember the exact numbers because it's usually you don't pay taxes on Social Security and disability, so you can gross it up. I think that helps a lot. Certainly, you know, veterans, families of veterans, the VA loan is a great program. There's no down payment required, and you can gross it up on VA loans as well. So there's a lot of great options out there.
And we know our military families are so touched by autism in so many ways too, and we support a lot of active and veteran communities. So, yeah, for me, it's really about effective treatments and therapies along the lifespan, but also having a place to live. You know, the
Yes.
basic necessities
Exactly.
are sometimes hard to get
Right.
when you're dealing with the basic needs of your child.
Yeah.
So.
And right now, it's absolutely you know, it's always you're always better off owning your home than renting, because that becomes an investment that you'll have for the rest of your life, and something you can secure the future of your children as they get older.
Especially in special needs trust and things that we talk about with conservatorships and
Exactly.
planning for the future. There's so many things to be aware of, so it's nice to have a partner that's at least knowledgeable when we speak that language.
Yes.
They can problem solve and help
Yes.
families navigate.
Yes, and you can buy a house and put it in the trust in a living trust from the beginning.
That's great.
Right? And all the government loan programs permit that.
Yeah. And it's so important for families to realize that that asset has to be special and protected. So special needs trust is even that extra layer,
Yes,
depending upon what that family is facing.
exactly. And if you live in a homestead state, it's even better because then the house is 100% protected from creditors.
God, so many like stuff I never would have thought of important. I thought, oh, you just buy a house and you're all good. But there's so many specifics that you guys help out with. So that's important. As far as future and how you want to engage in your community, do you have any big future plans that you're working on?
That's a good question. I think just keep doing what we do every single day. You know, support from organization like yours is extremely helpful, and as you know, I'm open to ideas. Anything we can, anywhere else we can contribute. We're very flexible and always ready to provide support anywhere in the country.
Oh, that's awesome. And we know we're growing across the country too. Right now, I think we're about ready to publish that our numbers of the families we serve is over 80,000 families. And so, you know, their needs are diverse and change, and we want to grow and change and help them along their journey too. It sounds like you're well suited to do that with your partners too.
Yes, and if there's anything we can do, and I guess sort of answers the prior question a little better, if there's anything we can do to help get the word out for TACA so that we can help more families. Right? And the way I see TACA membership is TACA is a free resource for families that need help, and it's an amazing resource. There's so much that they do for you. So, you know, I think any family that's impacted by autism, or even if they're not impacted, if you have any interest in helping, supporting, it's a great cause, and just jump in, and they're ready to embrace you and help you. So if I can do anything to help TACA get the word out so that you can touch more families, that would be, I'm open to all those suggestions.
Oh, that's awesome. And I think, again, I can't express this enough that, you know, leading by example to show you can mix philanthropy and corporate profits. That's such an important concept, and I think employees really appreciate that and enjoy that it's, you know, it's more than just, you know, the job. It's about being a better steward in your community.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's pretty simple. You got to have profits in order to have
I'm not
philanthropy.
saying that one goes without the
It's
other.
like, you know, you got to make money to spend money, and
Right.
And we
You don't
like
max
to,
out a credit card on a regular basis? Just kidding. Debt. But no, I think the most important thing is just, you know, it's lead by example.
Yeah. And, you know, and the best way to have profits is just to do a good job.
Right.
And, you know, serve your customer, do a good job. You know, we're not some big, you know, publicly traded corporation. We're a family-owned business. Been family-owned for 41 years, 42 years. You know, I go in there every day, I roll up my sleeves, get to work, I work on loans, work with borrowers. That's what we do. We're craftsmen, and we do it well.
Well, that's awesome. And we're kind of the same. We just do it with, you know, not charging. It's a little bit different. But no, it's our pleasure. The families, I look at the families we serve and the challenges they're dealing with, you know, they're just so grateful for any help and support they can get.
Yep.
And we're happy to be there for them.
Yep.
We're really grateful and really thankful, and we love seeing their kids get better.
Yeah.
That's my hobby.
Yeah, and I think the work you guys do, if there's anything that we can say about why SunWest gave to TACA, it's because your work shines through. Right? I mean, the way Anthony found your organization, the research that we did, and we've tracked you guys for years, and everything adds up. And you guys do such high quality work. You know, our decision was, how can we not give to TACA?
Oh, thank you. I don't take that lightly. I respect and appreciate those words. And again, the ultimate goal is to not be needed. That would be the ultimate goal. But, you know, unfortunately with the numbers, I think, gosh, roughly a 23% increase in 2 years. You know, just was announced by the CDC last week.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge, but we're up to it. And, you know, our goal is happy families and healthy families that have bright futures.
Yeah. I think we keep working hard at it, we'll get there.
Right. More success stories.
Yeah.
We live for the success stories and kids, you know, either losing their diagnosis or just becoming more independent. One or the other.
Yes, that's right. And like I said, there's plenty of examples of very successful people that have become, I don't know if they ever lost a diagnosis, but they have become independent and are top of their game. So it by no means is being on the spectrum a permanent, you know, life-crippling event.
Yeah, and for the families that don't enjoy the success that we hope for them and they hope for their kids, we're going to keep working at it. We know we have the answers for a lot of kids and support tools for a lot, but there's still a group that's going to need our support lifelong.
Yep.
And, you know, our whole goal is, as we were talking about before on the adult service program, is creating internship partnerships so we can bring adults on the spectrum to, you know, be able to get services and support, you know, and also maybe try out, you know, corporate volunteering and internships.
Oh, that'd be, yeah.
That could be really fun.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, we've helped some kids in the past, come out of difficult situations, and we've hired them. So we're open.
That's
We're
great.
open to that.
well, great. I can't wait
Yeah.
to bug you more. And like you said, you're interested in more ideas.
Yeah.
We're in the first year of a 5-year plan. Part of that plan is finding a detailed way, almost like kids get an IEP in the school district for special education services.
Mhm.
We want to create an adult resource IEP, and that way we can work really well with human
Yeah.
resources and get the support they need, and have them be a big important part of your employee workforce.
Yeah. The best way to help somebody is to teach them to help themselves.
Right. Look at all the confidence you have when you have a job and a paycheck and be able to do it on your own.
Exactly.
That's what we hope for our kids.
Exactly.
Yeah. So as far as, vision and next steps, you talked about do more of the same. Your business has grown a lot over the last 41 years. Are you seeing any specific trends in the doing the more same?
I mean, that's a big question because of what's happening in the real estate market today. Home prices are going through the roof,
Yeah.
right? And we've seen the full cycle. I mean, we were there in 2008 when home prices fell 50% overnight, practically. Now we're here in 2021, home prices going up 20%, overnight, practically, right? So the real estate markets are really interesting, wild moves in it, and the job we do is difficult because we have to manage through those massive swings. And I don't want to geek out on capital markets and rates and stuff.
Do you need a whiteboard? Couple of colored pens.
Yeah, but there's a ton of math and that goes into staying on top of these
Right.
these movements and being able to analyze, understand, and position for it so that we continue to thrive and grow past these movements. So many lenders aren't able to keep up with those rapid changes. And as we all saw what happened in the credit crisis.
Yeah.
And so, and that's really our secret sauce is because we're privately held. We take it easy. We're not about next quarter financials, trying to pump up our stock value, make it look good somehow, right? We're about long-term, slow, steady, do the right thing, and the proof's in the pudding. That is the right way to do it, and it's worked for 42 years, and it's going to work for another 142 years.
Awesome. Well, I hope we can continue to partner for those next
Yeah.
142 years together. That would be great. And
My crystal ball says I see a good long-term partnership here.
awesome. Well, maybe what we can do is, we'll get back together and we'll keep everyone updated on the progress that we're making together. We'll be publishing to your page and our page the events families can participate, the virtual meetings, the adult services, and the conferences that we do each year. So we'll come back and provide an update and share our progress together and how we're making a difference in moving autism forward.
Excellent.
That sounds great.
Yes,
Thank
it
you
does.
so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Yeah.